guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, I got an email from a young subscriber. He's 20 years old, and he is really trying to figure out exactly where to go in terms of all his passions, which one he should focus on to make his purpose and pursue that in terms of career, business, all that. And what's really cool about this guy, he's very motivated, he's very driven, and he's in a mindset that I want a lot of you young guys to be. I want all guys to be in a mindset of obviously trying to improve themselves, but for the younger guys that are really starting up, just become adults, this is where I want you to be. And this guy has the issue where he has a lot of areas of interest that he's passionate about, and he's having a hard time determining exactly which one to go for, okay? And he's asking for my help in kind of, narrowing that down, as well as he's kind of wondering is he a failure at 20 years old if he doesn't know 100% what he wants to do and he's not already going full throttle towards that goal. And so I'm going to address these questions at the end of his thing here, and hopefully it can help him out and seek the right path. And so for many of you young guys that may be in a situation like him, that you definitely have multiple fields that you're interested in, but you can't quite figure out which one, or you think that you're missing the boat because you're getting older and you haven't gotten to full throttle on your purpose, so you can't be as successful as you'd hoped, I'll address that as well. So he says here, salutations, SSM. I've written you before, but I understand that you're very busy and can't get to everyone. Now that you have your new Ask SSM thing going, I figure this would be a better fit for that. I am a 20-year-old male. I have a bit of a dilemma I need advice on. My 18-year-old cousin and I are really close. We've been to each other's houses so many times that you might as well say that we live there. We've had the same RP ideology, and we're pretty successful with women. Often you'll see my cousin having twins fighting over him while he just sits back and relaxes. While I was entertained that at 16, when I turned 18, I quickly found that there was not enough aspirin in the world to deal with more than one at a time. I'm certain we get that attention because of our insatiable hunger for knowledge. Now to the dilemma. Okay, so you got your man WHOR thing out of your system when you were younger because the girls liked you, but now you're on your purpose. Okay, good for you. He says, I found myself being passionate about several of my skills. I'm a pretty decent story writer. I'm confident enough in my scientific ability to say that I'm darn good. So good that I was able to have discussions with college professors. I would never, however, claim to be on their level. Well, that'd be a bit arrogant, so I'm glad you have some you're not saying that. Because of this, I recently started thinking about completing an online bachelor's degree for biotechnology and finish it at my own pace, but I'm probably going to hold off on that. But for my latest goal, I want to learn computer programming. You can probably see what the dilemma is. Well, my cousin, let's call him O, and I have the undying feeling that at our ages, we need to hustle because we might be too late. This has brought on a little too much stress in our lives. My ultimate goal is to start a company in computer programming, and O said he would help me and figure out what he wanted to do. Of course, I said I'd be on board with this idea as well. Two ambitious young guys, I like it. He says O has a lot of interest as well. I've been teaching him sciences and even bought him a 900-page book on circuitry and electrical engineering for his birthday because he said he was interested in it. Geez, a lot of guys your age are off goofing off and screwing around. You're being self-taught all these different things. The fact that it sounds like you can obviously teach yourselves these different things says a whole lot about your personality, intelligence, and potential. He says, I was fortunate enough to learn about statistics and economics in high school, so I wouldn't mind teaching him those things as well. I always stress how important it is to have multiple skills, even if you don't get a degree in them, and the advice you give only reaffirms that. The more you know, the better, guys. Keep learning in all areas. You'd be amazed how some things can come back to help you down the road. My question is, do we have time to decide, or should we have already decided what we want to go for and be going full speed to establish ourselves in that field? Are we failures for not already being at a certain benchmark, or do we have time to switch between what our goals would be? Although I'm pretty sure this idea of one day owning a computer programming company, maybe an app or software development, is my main focus, especially since we live in an area of instant satisfaction, and it's programming that makes that possible. Thanks a lot, SSM. Your content is a godsend for young men like O and I. Keep up the good work. All right, bro. Well, again, congratulations. I'm glad to see that you got the whole chasing ass phase out of your system when you're in teens in high school, so good for you. Now you're on your purpose, and that's awesome, okay? Now, here's the deal. I'm going to address this real quick. You got plenty of time, okay? You're not losers or wasting time or failures because you haven't figured out exactly what you want to do and you're on that full speed ahead, okay? You'll get there. But the thing is, you got a lot of passions, and it's tugging at you like a tug of war. You're not quite sure what you want to do, and I've been there, dude. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to, my advice would be is to really test the field, all the different areas of passion that you have and interest, and to find out which one is the best for you, that you have the most passion for, which can become a career, okay? So for instance, you said you've been thinking about taking computer programming courses, okay? I'm going to assume you don't have any experience in programming yet, so it makes sense for you to take some courses like that and see if it's something you like, because you may think, oh, this is awesome, but then you may take a few courses and realize, you know what, I'm not quite cut up for that. Or maybe it isn't come to me as easily as other things do. Okay, as an example, when I was in college, this was in the late 90s, I also was very interested in the idea of programming and all that, and envisioned starting a business along those lines. And I took a couple courses and found out real quick that I sucked at it. Okay, even though I was interested, I didn't have it. Okay, well, that was that, and realized, okay, I can scratch that off the checklist as not being possible. So it's good to try out a few courses and test the field, so to speak, in the different things you're interested in to see if you actually are good at them and you enjoy it. Okay, I always knew I was meant for business. Without a shadow of a doubt, it just depended what business to go into. So I learned that about the whole computer programming for me. It wasn't my area. Okay, believe me, we're trying to write lines of code and figure out what was wrong with it. No, not my thing. I like the idea of what the code could create and what I could sell and market, but the actual programming part, I sucked at it. So I learned. So I recommend that you and your bro test out different areas and find out what that is, okay? And if it takes you a year or two, no big deal. You're young. You're 20 years old. Your cousin is 18, all right? So for all you young guys watching this that figure like, oh, shit, you know, I'm 20 years old, I'm 21, and I'm not on my way to starting a big company. You got time. It's very, you know, you hear stories about people that were very successful, that started businesses very early age in college, in their dorm room and all that. We've all heard them, okay? And those are amazing success stories. But they are a fraction of a percent that people actually do that and actually make it successful. It does happen, but it's hard. So don't beat yourself up because you're young and figuring this stuff out. It is better that you try, obviously, a few courses in this, a few courses in that to see if you like it, if you have a knack for it and all that, instead of just jumping in and then in one area and say, well, I'll try it, and then it doesn't work out, and you've invested a lot of time and money and resources, didn't go anywhere. So I would narrow it down by taking those different courses and this, and this, whatever it may be. And for anybody else watching this, that's kind of the same situation, and get more of an idea of what you're really passionate about. Because if you're going to go into business or make a career out of something, you want it to be something that is the number one thing you're passionate about, because that way then, when it's challenging and it has problems and issues and all that, you're not going to just throw your hands in the air and quit and say the hell with it, because, you know, and you won't, because it's something you truly love, okay? I mean, for me, I thought forever fitness was my big thing, okay? But there was something bigger than that to me. It was the idea of doing what I'm doing here on YouTube. That was the top thing. And while I started the fitness business, and I had done that for a bit, and I was doing very, very, very well with that, COVID happened in 2020, and so that hit me. But I also at the same time started the YouTube channel, and it was the right place, right time, and I went with everything I had, and it became very successful. Now, truly, I was in the right place at the right time, and I had some practice in this, so I was able to make it happen. But I was bound and determined. Every day, doing a video, trying this, trying that to make it work, okay? And so, even though I love fitness my whole life and I started a personal training business, which I still have, I've scaled down my personal training business substantially to focus on my YouTube business. I still do it, and I enjoy it very much. But I don't have the same passion for the fitness business, personal training company, and working with people that I do for this, okay? And so I'm much willing to work harder at this, even in times when it's frustrating and I have to deal with BS from YouTube and their rules and all that. And I'm sure many of you guys are aware of how it works for guys like us on YouTube. And I'm willing to work harder at it. And this is something I truly think about all the time before I go to bed, when I first get up in the morning. That's the passion for me. Fitness, I loved it, but it wasn't quite the same. So this is why I recommend try different things and figure out what your true passion is. And then you will go at it full throttle, and then you can make something out of it. And then when you figure what that is, whatever it may be, I'd recommend that you obviously start working in a field like that. Let's just say you take the computer programming classes. courses and you love them, okay? Then you can start really focusing your time and energy on that, both in the school and self-educating. You can talk to people that are in that line of work, figure out, hear their opinions on it. They'll take advice from them, what you can do. That's what I'd recommend you do. And perhaps working for a business that does that stuff to see how that works, blah, blah, blah. The more free learning you can get, I would take it. And then if you then decide to pursue that as a business, I would then recommend that you, before you even start a business, talk to everybody you know that has experience in business, particularly in your field, and find out everything you can to help you along that path. Consider everybody you seek knowledge from as your board of directors, giving you advice in areas that you're weak in. And then hopefully, like you said, you like to go in business with your cousin maybe, then I'd recommend that obviously that both of you are on the same path, and maybe his strengths will help with your weaknesses and vice versa and all that. But seek out as much knowledge as you can from people that are successful, know what they're doing. Make sure, obviously, if you do go down this path, whatever the path may be, that you want to start a business one day, believe me, talk to all the smart people you know. Do not be one of these people who think like, I know everything so I can figure it out. Bullshit. That's stupid. Okay, get free knowledge. And then form the company right. Make sure you talk to a good accountant to get you on the right path, because you don't want to get screwed over by Uncle Sam. And have the company formed in the right way, get the right insurance, take care of everything legally you're supposed to, and go from there and figure out your branding, figure out who your customers are, how to market it right. I did a video just last week about finding your purpose and starting a business, because this guy wanted to start a business on his own because he's been in programming forever. Watch that. That might help you out a little bit, and go from there. But I can't make it more clear. You're not a purpose. I mean, what am I saying? You're not a failure because you don't know. You're not full throttle on what you want. A lot of people don't know what the hell they want at a young age. And a lot of people find success way later in life. I was 40, how the hell old was I? 42 when I started this channel, okay? And now I'm truly doing what I feel 100% is my purpose, what I was meant to do. And I'm giving it everything I got. Okay, 42 years old, dude. Before that, for a few years, I was doing the personal training business, and that was doing great too. But I wasn't making what I make money-wise on here compared to personal training. It's night and day, okay? And I love it more. So I could have done personal training company. It was always, what I did was in-home personal training, guys. I'd go to people's homes, and I marketed myself online, and I was book solid. And I could have done that the rest of my life and enjoyed it, enjoyed working with people, made decent money, but I didn't have the passion that I have for this. See what I mean? So figure that out, and then when you're ready, you 100% know what you want to do, then move forward, okay? Better that you wait a few more years and you get a little bit older and truly know what you want to do, than opposed to say, all right, I'm just going to, flip a coin here between this and pursue this, and then it's not your passion, doesn't work out. So get the experience, really figure it out, and when you know 100%, then go for it. Because whatever is your passion, whatever you in your gut, you just love it, and you just love talking about it, you can't stop thinking about it, that's your number one passion and purpose. And find the way to make that into a business, and you will. Just seek out all the knowledge you can get and go for it. You got nothing to lose. And there you go. So hopefully this will help this dude out, as well as any young guys that are a little puzzled, not quite sure what a field you need to pursue. Really think about the one that really brings you just so much joy, and you just can't stop talking about it, and you love it and all that. You'll figure it out. And then go from there. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me think about this. For you guys that have been in a situation like this, when you've been trying to figure out your purpose and passion and what's the best thing to do and all that, let this guy know, because it will definitely help him out. And also, guys, if you have a question you'd like me to ask me, you'd like me to address in this channel, just email me, ask SSM, put that in the title, and I will certainly address that and cover it down the road if it's a good one. And of course, any other really good stories or articles you'd like me to share on the channel, you know the type I cover. And also, guys, be sure to check me out on social media, Instagram or Locals. I'm making a big push this year, Strong Successful Male. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.